South African Social Security Agency is warning social grant recipients about a new scam which gives fraudsters access to grant money in their accounts. Now, people posing as government employees are asking to check whether the beneficiary's bank card is still active. Fraudsters then use a skimming device to steal vital information and actually clone that card. Well, let's unpack this further now with Sassa's Paseka Letsatsi. Paseka, a very good afternoon to you and thanks so much for your time. So let's talk about what reports you've been receiving. Those who've fallen victim to the scam, what are they telling you?
Good afternoon, Veka, and good afternoon to the viewers at home as well. I think we just want to basically warn the public that there are people who have been going around masquerading as Sassa officials. And basically what they've been doing is to go around with the device and saying to people that they are just trying to verify if indeed their cards are working. And in that process, what they basically do is to take the information of beneficiaries and go and withdraw the money. And this has been happening for the past 3 weeks, Vega. But the good news is that at least we have reported the matter to our fraud management unit, which is in collaboration with the law enforcement agencies, and they are working on the matter.
So, Paseka, just so our beneficiaries, our viewers are not confused, there are no Sassa officials, legitimate ones, who are actually going around checking for information. You're not doing this at all. This is not something you're doing at the moment. Anyone who's doing this is a criminal.
Definitely, Uveka. We just want to engage with our communities, and we just want to send a message to them that there is no Sassa official who will come to your house with a device trying to verify your card. If the card has got a problem, you must come to a Sassa office or post office and the card will be sorted out.
Okay, are criminals maybe jumping on the bandwagon because because beneficiaries are having problems with their cards? Are you experiencing that at the moment, that people are having issues with their cards and this has opened the door for this now?
Not necessarily, but I think, remember, majority of beneficiaries of social grants are the most vulnerable people. And I think what criminals have been doing is to check some of the loopholes in terms of how people sometimes write a weak PIN. Like, for example, Rebecca, if you were born in 1970, you would do your PIN code to be 1970. And I think criminals are just trying to penetrate the most vulnerable community in our society. And I think that this is the reason why we become exposed. It's not necessarily a situation where people try to target anybody or so on, but they are just using the fact that majority of 70% of our beneficiaries are the most vulnerable people in the society. And I think they are just abusing that particular situation to scare people.
So where would they be getting the information of recipients or beneficiaries from, Paseka? I mean, do you suspect that this information might be provided from the inside? Are you looking at that possibility?
We are definitely doing that, Iveka. Remember, for me to know what's happening at ENCA, I have to collaborate with somebody who works there. But because the matter is with the fraud management unit in Sassa and law enforcement agencies, I think we'll definitely come back to you again when we have a report and just try to engage the public and report exactly what happened. But currently, we're just trying to wait and get the report. And once the report is presented to us, we'll definitely engage with you and give the public what has been happening. But we have confidence that what is happening between our fraud management unit and the law enforcement agencies will definitely bear the fruits.
All right, so you are looking at the possibility of some of Sassa employees who might be involved in this, and we will definitely follow up that with you, Paseka. Now, we know this is not the first time that Sassa has been targeted by criminals or fraudsters as well, and it's being reported that this might be the recent change of cards that might have led to this latest scam. What can you tell us about that?
Look, Viveka, I think this is not for the first time. You're quite right that we have been targeted. But secondly, we just want to there are certain things which we want to engage our people. We want to make sure, we want to talk to them that they must make sure that they hide their PIN, they don't share it with anybody. But secondly, we also know that there are people who are called mashonisa who go and take people's cards. We also know that people also give their IDs, and this is what we want to appeal to our people, that please make sure that all these documents, you hide them, we don't give it to anybody. Because this week we are dealing with people who are scamming. Next week we will be engaging people who steal the PIN codes and so on. And we'll try and make sure that we engage our communities, because we have got a beneficiary education. And in that campaign, we try to make sure that we engage our people. We continuously teach them about how important it is to make sure that their cards are safe.
And in the meantime, though, Paseka, what are you doing about the complications around the change of cards as well? Because, like we say, this seems to have opened the door to criminals. So what are you doing to get that sorted out as soon as possible for beneficiaries?
Look, when the time is right, we'll engage communities in terms of cards, whether they have to change them or not. But people have got the right, when they apply for a social grant, to either choose to have the card, which is a Sassa card, or to have the card of the bank of their choice. And I think that is the option which people have. However, when the time is right, if there has to be a change of cards and so on, we'll definitely do a beneficiary education, and we'll tell people in terms of what is that they have to do. But currently, we just want to make sure that people do what is given to them, and they make the choice of their own. But currently, they can make a choice in terms of whether they want to use the bank of their choice or they want to use a Sassa card.
And is there any help for those who have been scammed already, those who have fallen victim? Is there any way that they can recoup their money? Is there any insurance on your side that maybe will provide for them to get their money back?
Definitely, Rebecca. If you have been scammed, there are certain processes which you have to follow. You can go to the police station and do an affidavit so that you confirm that you were not in cahoots with the criminals. And then you can basically come to a Sassa office and present that particular thing, and we'll definitely take the process forward. We'll investigate. If we find out that it is not out of your making, I will definitely make sure that the money gets paid back to a beneficiary.
All right, well, that's good news indeed. Thanks very much there, Paseka Letsatsi. He's a Sassa spokesperson. And just so you know, there aren't any Sassa employees who are going around asking for your card to check whether you as a beneficiary, whether that card is still active. They are not doing that. Anybody who comes to you and says so is a criminal and is trying to scam you.